name is Cindy and I am with Reinvented Delaware, and we blog over at reinventeddelaware.com. We share lots of tutorials on upcycling and repurposing all sorts of projects from the thrift store, and we turn it into adorable farmhouse style home decor. How to do some of our projects, be sure to visit our blog, reinventeddelaware.com. Today, I want to say thank you to Miss Mustard Seeds for inviting me here to share one of our upcycling projects. It's going to be this magazine rack. Now, we're going to get to that in just a second. Let me tell you about the products that we will be using. We will be using Miss Mustard Seeds Milk Paint in mustard seed yellow, and I like to store mine in these deli containers. It's a really great way to store your paint. We'll be using, let's see what else, where is it? There it is. We'll be using Milk Mix Easy, and I'm going to tell you, this is an optional project or product. You don't have to use this. You can if you want to. I did the first coat, I did not use it. The second coat I did, and we'll talk about that in a minute. The last product we're using is to seal it. It's called Milk Coat, and I like the matte finish. Everything's backwards. I like the matte finish because it gives a waxed look with the durability of a polyacrylic. So let's talk about this today. This magazine rack that I found it thrifted. It was just a couple of dollars. You can pick these up for $10 and under. And I'll tell you what we're going to use it for, but let me show you what I've done so far. So I'm going to bring it in closer. Let's see where we are. Okay, you can see here, this is the wood that it started out to be. I washed it really well. I let it dry. I wash my things with a hose, and then I put it out in the sunshine and I let it dry really well. So I did that with this, and then I've applied the first coat already. You can see right here, the first coat. And then you can also see that I've added second coats. You can tell automatically the second coats here. Let's see, turn it around. Here we go. This is the second coat. I'm going to show you about each coat and what that looks like in between. But let's talk about what this piece might be used for as we paint it. So I'm going to bring in a little closer here. Let's bring that right in there. I hope you can see it just fine. There we go. Let's talk about the paint before I get to that part. So I mixed up my paint the other day because I started working on this project yesterday. And I took my paint, I put it in a cute little mason jar, and I stored it in the fridge. That's the great thing about milk paint. One of the great things about milk paint is that you can mix it up ahead of time. You store it in the fridge, and then you're good to go. I just gave it a little stir because it sat for 24 hours, and I wanted to make sure that it was completely mixed. Now, Miss Mustard Seeds Milk Paint is made in the USA, and I really like that. I really like things made here in the USA. And it also has 4 natural ingredients. It's environmentally safe, completely environmentally safe. That is such a plus. And that means that there are low VOCs and it's non-toxic. So if I were to paint something for my grandchildren, I wouldn't have to worry about the paint being toxic for them. I don't have to worry about that at all. It's also biodegradable and compostable, so it can be thrown out into the yard if you had to, and you don't have to worry about it damaging anything. It's made of all natural ingredients, excuse me. So let's talk about this piece, and I'm going to tell you what we're going to use this for here in just a little bit, but let's talk about what I'm doing here. So I said that I cleaned it and I let it dry really well. This piece did not have a lot of shine, so I didn't really have to worry about concerns that the paint would or would not stick. I have not added any additives to this to make the paint stick. If it chips, I'm going to be happy with that. If you don't want it to chip, you just add the bonding agent and it will help it grips. I think it's called Milk Grip, and it will help that paint grip to the surface. I want chipping to happen. If it happens, if it doesn't, it doesn't. For now, I want to show you what the first coat will look like. And I know you're probably thinking I'm a crazy woman for all these spindles, but I don't mind spindles, and let me tell you why. It's a good reason to listen to a podcast, put on an audiobook, and just do some paint therapy. What I have found with spindles, especially this small, is to use this kind of paintbrush. So this is you get like a pack of artist paintbrushes in the art department at Walmart. I keep these on hand. They're not expensive. I get several uses out of them. And when the bristles start to splay, I just get rid of the paintbrush and go on to a new one. But this little brush will only hold a little bit of paint. And that's really important when you're painting an area like this spindle. Now, I don't know how well you can see this, so I'm going to pull you in a little farther. Got some tight quarters here, and I don't know if my lighting's the best. Can you see that? It looks like it's barely covering the brown wood, doesn't it? That's okay, because that's how it will dry. We might not have time to watch it dry here, but you can see right here, that's how it's going to dry. So I just use this small artist brush and I work the paint right in there. I don't have to worry about brush strokes with Miss Mustard Seeds Milk Paint because it's water-based. You mix it equal parts, paint and water. By the way, always add the water first and then the powder on top of that. You stir it around. There's lots of tutorials on the Miss Mustard Seed blog of how to mix the paint. We also have a YouTube channel for Miss Mustard Seeds Milk Paint. You can look that up and see how to mix the paint. Very easy to do. So you can definitely see right there, it doesn't look like I did much, but believe me, this is going to dry, and let me show you how it dries. This, let's get this in here. There we go. This is what it will look like when the first coat is dry. It definitely enhances the color as it dries, but I can still see the wood. No worries, because right here, you can see everything's backwards when you're doing this, so I apologize for that. This side is the second coat. This side is the first coat. You can see a drastic difference there. Let's turn this around. This is all the second coat. It's even more visible. Pardon me here, I'm getting turned around. So you can see it even more here. This side is the first coat of paint. This side is the second coat of paint. Look at the difference in just 2 coats of this very light color. Mustard seed yellow is a lighter color. It's not super dark, and that can be a challenge when you're painting over pretty dark wood. You saw how dark it was. In fact, you can see it right back here. That wood was pretty dark. So for just 2 coats of paint, you can see how much it's improved. Let's go ahead and put a 3rd coat right here. Yeah, there we go. I love using these little brushes because, like I said, it gets on just a little bit of the paint and I don't have to worry about a bunch of runs and drips. There we go. Now I might wind up putting a 4th coat on this. It just kind of depends what it will look like when I have the whole thing painted. So back on the spindles, these little tiny spindles, this little brush comes in handy when you're going inside, like in here. These are the center spindles, and it is easy to get this little brush in there. So that's something you're definitely going to want to pick up, is a little brush like this if you decide to find a magazine rack with this many spindles. When you go to a thrift store, you're going to see all sorts of magazine racks of all different shapes and designs. So you might not even have to worry about the spindles. Depends on what you find. All right, let's talk about what to use this for. This is a favorite thing of mine, of finding pieces that had an original use and then coming up with a whole new way of using that item. I really do love to do that. So here's what I'm thinking. We're all getting ready for the back to school season. My husband's a teacher. He's getting ready to go back here in the next week or so, and he's kind of getting his mindset. All the moms and dads out there are scurrying around getting themselves ready for back to school. So here's my thought on a piece like this. This could be used for electronic device charging. Did I say that right? Like kids these days, they're using iPads at school. It's crazy. My husband's kids in his high school, they're using iPads. Maybe you have younger kids that are using iPads. I know some elementary schools are doing it. I don't know how many, but some are. And maybe you're looking for a way to keep track of that expensive iPad that you don't want to owe money on at the end of the school year, and also make sure that it gets charged. You could take a magazine rack like this after you get it all finished, and we're going to talk about finishing it here in a minute. And this is a great place for iPads to be charged right in there, or even a laptop. I know a lot of schools use laptops. If you have a college kid that is still living with you at home, they might have a laptop. This would be a great place. You buy one of those power strips. You know, there's about 8 or 10 plugs. You plug it in, you put it underneath, and then everybody can charge their devices right in here. You could even stick a cell phone right in between these spindles if you had to, or depending on what kind of magazine rack you find, it could be a little bit different, but you get the idea. This could be used to charge all of those electronic devices and keep your house neat and tidy and kind of cute, because I mean, come on, look at this. This is adorable. And I see some chipping action happening with the paint. I'll show you that in a minute. But let's talk a couple more ideas about getting ready for back to school. So here's the thing. I think you ought to start working now on a sleep adjustment. Like, everybody's been sleeping in, everybody's staying up late, they're sleeping in the morning, and you know those first couple days back to school, it's hard on everybody because our sleep schedules have been changed. When my kids were little, I would start about 2 weeks before the school year, before the first day, and I would put everybody to bed a little earlier and get everybody up a little bit earlier. And then each day I just moved it back by about 15 minutes. And by the time school gets here, everybody's a little bit better back into the schedule of getting up early. So there's another thing. Get your kids involved in ways to make your morning routine smoother. Ask their opinions, and they're a lot more likely to be invested in making the morning routine smooth. You know what I'm saying? Because getting out in the mornings can be a challenge. So think about that now and start asking your kids their ideas so that they're excited about going back and getting into a good morning routine. And with that, get some breakfast ideas that are just really, really good for back to school. Quick things, smoothies, pre-made little egg omelets that you make in a muffin tin. I know you've seen them. Get some of those ready in the freezer. Make your morning as smooth as possible. And having a charging station like this could be part of that morning routine, because if their device is charging overnight, they're going to be able to grab their device and put it in the book bag. That's another tip. Keep the book bags near the back door or whatever door you use to exit the house in the morning, so you know where those book bags are and you're not hunting them down. So another thing is to think about packing lunches the night before and get your kids to help. Have them pack their lunch. Have available things for them and get them to pack the lunch. It's going to really make your day, your morning go a lot smoother, and your evenings as well. So let's take a look at this again. Here's this side here. There we go. You see the wood here on the top has not been painted. It's a medium to dark color of wood. You can see the first coat right here, okay? It's looking a little rough. I know you're thinking, Cindy, what in the world? But that's okay. By the time you get to the third coat, you're going to be at about, the second coat, you're going to be at about this place here, okay? That's the first coat. I always get turned around. This one here, now that's the third coat right here. Already it's almost completely covered. I might have to do a little bit of touch up at the end of this. I'm not sure, we'll see. And it also depends on the look that you're going for. If you want complete coverage, go ahead and give this a third and possibly fourth touch-up coat. That is not unusual on a dark piece of wood with a light color like mustard seed yellow. You're going to have to, no matter what paint you're using, you're going to have a couple of coats on there. So chipping action, I just saw it, there it is. The challenge will be to show it to you. Let's see here. Where is it? It is right. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. I don't think you can see that, but right in here, since I painted this yesterday, that paint is starting to chip off. Just there went a couple chips right there with my fingernail. It's starting to chip off. That's going to give this piece a really cute vintage look. I'm excited to get this whole thing finished, really looking forward to it. Look at this, isn't that so cute? Can't you see the whole thing painted in that beautiful color, that mustard seed yellow? I love it so much, just a really beautiful color. And for fall, it's just a perfect color for fall. It's a warm color that we're getting ready to see a lot of these colors in fall coming up here very soon, because it's almost the middle of August, so fall is just around the corner. So I wanted to say thank you for joining me today, and let me just cover a couple of things. This project is going to be completely finished. I've already got my camera out, wherever it is, over there. I'll be photographing this project as I finish it this afternoon, and then I'm going to be writing a blog post that will be on the Miss Mustard Seeds blog next week. So you'll be able to see the full tutorial, you'll be able to see the finished project, completely finished, and I'll even grab my laptop and stick it in there and let you see how that looks. So that's going to be kind of fun. And I encourage you to make sure that you subscribe to the email for Miss Mustard Seeds blog. We'll send you out an email and say, hey, there's a new project on the blog. You're going to love to see it. You can shop for these products in the link below, and you can use the code, if I get this right, 10 off RD. RD is for Reinvented Delaware. That's our business. That code is going to get you 10% off of your entire order. It's practically like free shipping. I mean, really, it is. So you can go over to the Miss Mustard Seeds website. We're going to have a link below so that you can get right to it. There will also be a link to the products and the information in the blog post next week. Be sure to sign up for the email. I don't want you to miss it. Let me just say thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate you watching, and I do appreciate Miss Mustard Seeds allowing me to come on here and share one of our fun upcycled projects. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you get a chance to paint one of these, let me know, or let Miss Mustard Seeds Milk Paint know right here on the Facebook page. You can send them a message and say, hey, I love that tutorial and I painted one in whatever color you choose. You might choose a different color. But I think that's it for today. I think we've covered everything. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact Miss Mustard Seeds through DMs on Facebook or on YouTube. You can also comment, and you can also email anytime you have a question. I appreciate you being here, and we will see you next time.